Are we recording now?
I think we're recording. Does it look like we're recording?
That's unfortunate.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
All
right. Coming to you via the virtual airwaves of BRTV from the Big Easy in Louisiana, bringing you his philosophy and insight on life and all things pipe and premium tobacco related. Please welcome your host, Padre Piper.
Hey!
Hey!
BRTV, welcome to episode...
Trace for the Spanish.
Trace, as in Tres Leches, which I think stands for 3 cheeses. No, I was told it's not 3 cheeses. Hey, episode 3 of Smoking Through the Sampler from the maker of Tres Leches. Easy for me to say. I sound like I've been drinking. I swear I've not hit the communion.
He has
line.
been hitting, coffee.
This is episode 3. We're doing the Middle Earth series from the Country Squire Tobacconist. Oh no, I've got the BRTV mug. The Country Squire Tobacconist. So hello to John David and all the friendly folks over at Country Squire in Jackson, Mississippi. And hello to you. And hello to you, Mark VV.
What's going on, Padre?
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right.
How's the Bothy?
Bothy's coming along.
Good. I haven't noticed any videos from the Bothy.
It's been a rough season, as they put it.
It has, and in fact, I haven't had any real video time either. For those who don't know, we're in the Gulf South, so
yeah,
the past month has been crazy with storms. It was Marco,
Karen. No,
Karen is that was at Panera Bread. What was after Marco? The one that was real, Laura, yeah. Like destroyed the southwest part of our state. And then as we record this, Sally was heading our way and has shifted path and has gone into Alabama. So we're fine, but on my side, it's ministry. Your side, it's like they cancel school and
child rearing.
Yeah,
I have 2 children. One is a little sick right now, so that means she's better. Doesn't have COVID.
Well, that's good.
But she's 8 months old and she has this congestion, so she wakes up a lot at night, and it keeps mommy and daddy very tired.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we're going to do episode 3 is blend number 3, and the way Mark VV in his genius self has scheduled this, it's an aromatic, a non-aromatic. So we're on to an aromatic. And this month's aromatic is from the Country Squire,
called Second Breakfast.
Second Breakfast, which is in keeping with the whole Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings. J.R.R.R.R. He was a pirate, Tolkien. That whole thing, and I guess at some point you might want to explain to the viewing audience, the 10s and 12s of them, why it is called Second Breakfast, because that has some sort of connotation to Lord of the Rings, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually an actual real world thing, like I was telling you before, that they do in Eastern Europe. It's called Second Breakfast. It's literally the meal you have in between breakfast and lunch.
And it's a full meal?
And it's a full meal.
You gotta like that.
That's why the hobbits liked it. They loved eating.
I bet. All right, and so pancakes come to mind. I don't know why that is. Why do pancakes come to mind since you've opened that bag?
Maple and vanilla.
All right.
And you put vanilla in the pancakes, and you put the maple syrup on top, and you got a little pancake in a bag.
Now, I've had this before. Have you?
A long time ago.
Same here. It's been a very long while, and I don't honestly recall it. And I do not recall, I remember thinking, okay, this is going to be like C&D's Autumn Evening, but it wasn't.
No.
I mean, the common denominator being maple,
yeah.
But it wasn't. It was different. So, and I don't recall not liking it. I don't know why I never went back to it. I still have a jar of it and just you know, I've got too much. That's the problem.
I think part of it is that with C&D's autumn evening, they probably more than likely use real maple syrup in the topping. They use real ingredients in C&D.
Yeah.
And with the Country Squire blend, I don't think John David sat there and squeezed maple syrup over the tobacco. I'm pretty sure he used a flavoring of some sort, or an already cased maple tobacco. I have no idea. I don't know how the sausage is made per se, but it has a very candy.
You mean there's sausage in there too?
There is.
For breakfast?
It's third breakfast.
It's not bacon.
No, it's not
old-fashioned.
Bacon old-fashioned. That's a good tobacco, by the way.
Yes.
We did a little tasting back on July 4th. If you want to go check that out.
All right. So I think maybe what I can do is read from tobaccoreviews.com. You can load up your bowl, and when you're done, I'll load up mine. This is right off the interwebs. It says and I'm assuming they get this off of Country Squire's website.
I'm pretty sure that is pulled directly from the website.
Yeah.
Yes.
It says a choice pairing with your mid-morning meal. Second breakfast has soft hints of everything you would expect from your second meal of the day. I would expect sausage. You think there's sausage in there?
I mean, we can ask.
Notes of buttery cake and maple syrup with a savory vanilla finish.
Savory vanilla.
Toasted Cavendish mixed with a variety of Virginias with cased and natural sweetness to combine for a rich but complex smoking experience. Flavorful with a pleasant room note while still kind to the mouth. Now it's got notes. Founded by Jim and Gwen Reeves in August of 19... Oh, this is about the Country Squire. Okay.
Yeah. And a little...
We all know about the Country Squire. We love them. So I'll let you go online. You can read that part for yourself. Now, we also, as he's doing that, let me take this opportunity, and you help me out if I miss something. We want to remind you that your feedback on this is important, because it's not just about us enjoying tasting notes. We want to know what you're thinking as well. Now, obviously, you could make a video response. That would be great. But you don't have to. There's other ways you can participate. In fact...
Yeah, I just pulled up the little...
You got the little email, yeah.
I said, even if you don't want to comment or make a video, like, please go to the Briar Report Middle Earth page. There's going to be a link to the survey that Flat Cap Piper is doing.
Yeah, and it's a cool little, you know, attempting to make it somewhat objective in terms of capturing opinion. So go fill it out and let us know what you think.
And we need that feedback so we kind of have a not only a general idea of how many people are actually interacting with the video.
Yes. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. I got my dad too. I got to just text him right now, like, hey, fill out the survey. But no, from what I understand, and I was telling you about this before, and I talked to John David over not last weekend, but the weekend before. I actually went up to the Country Squire and smoked a cigar, which is, I guess, the wrong thing to smoke while you're there. But I smoked a cigar, had a beer, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was lovely. Then I went over to... It sounds a great day. And then I went over to Mr. John David Cole's place of residence, and I talked to him for a few minutes, and he told me that the samplers are flying off the shelf, literally.
And that's great.
And that's awesome. So we are so pleased.
We're happy to do our part.
Happy to help out.
Yes.
But so we know people are buying them. We need to know if you're actually...
Yeah, we want to know what you think of it.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, if you don't like it, that's okay too. Let it, fill it out. Be honest. That's the fun part about this hobby of ours is,
all the opinions.
That bothy flake from Sammy G, I couldn't tolerate it, and it turns out you like it. Weirdo.
Yeah, it's all right.
So you don't like something, you pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like the old Chex commercial. Give it to Mikey.
Give it to Mikey.
He eats anything. All right, I think I've got mine packed. Maybe I'm going to do a sniffer. The bag note.
Here we go by that bag note. Adjective.
It's a nice. This does not smell overly topped or cased for an aromatic.
No, it's really actually fairly light on the nose. It doesn't smell like it's syrupy or goopy or weird. It's actually a very pleasant, smell.
In fact, the maple is kind of very background. And I guess, again, I'm comparing, when I think maple, I think autumn
syrup,
even. Yeah.
And this is more of like a candied maple. If that
Yeah,
makes any
yeah,
sense. Yeah. And I think that's just with the ingredients that they're using. It is a maple flavor, but it's not maple syrup.
And there's a quality leaf that's coming through on the bag note too. It's not just an aromatic sort of scent. And we said that there's Cavendish in what, Virginia? Black Cavendish in Virginia. So lots of browns. So if we slice it down the middle, it's a third black Cavendish, third Cavendish, and I'm assuming that's like an unsweetened Cavendish to give it some body.
Or vanilla.
And then and the Virginia, and it kind of looks 2/3 brownish, 1/3 black. You've lit yours up. I'm gonna try and steal your room note.
And I'm smoking it out of a pipe called the Shire from the Cobbett series, that Missouri Meerschaum.
Did you say Missouri? Missouri
Meerschaum.
Now, okay, that's interesting. That room note is by far not unpleasant. However, I would, if I didn't know what that was, I would not think you were smoking an aromatic necessarily. I am picking up what might be a very pleasant, non-offensive room note for a Virginia, like a straight Virginia. And it smells kind of like the smoke shop, your local B&M, but not in a bad way when you go in there. It's like too smoky, and I mean, this is pleasant. It's pipe pleasant, but it's not what I would call a stereotypical aromatic pipe room note. But it's not bad.
And that's what I enjoy about Country Squire's blends specifically, is that John David is very good at accentuating the tobacco and not necessarily the aromatic component. Like, it's there, but it can be enjoyed by somebody who probably doesn't always smoke aromatics.
Right. He's not recreating drugstore aromatics when he blends.
This is stuff he makes up himself and he blends in store.
Okay. Now on charring light, what did you get?
I'm still picking it apart. It's very sweet. I don't get. See, when you're smoking, it's hard.
Hard to get the
room note.
That's why I like to have you go first, because I like the room note. I like picking up on room notes.
Yeah, you get the vanilla in the room note. A little bit of the maple, but it's so subdued. It's hard to even really detect what it is.
Actually, I just got the vanilla and the maple. The maple was definitely secondary to the vanilla, and the vanilla was honestly secondary to the leaf. And it was a very nice package. It was wrapped well.
A well-wrapped package.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It played. It wasn't like one was walloping the other. And again, I think much like...
Trying to look like a wizard.
Yeah, you're very wizard-like there. Much like the bag note, on that charring light, I mean, this does not strike me as an in-your-face aromatic. It's sweet, but there's a natural sweetness to this.
Yeah, it's not an artificial sweetness. It's very very much a... what's funny is that it smells like a candied maple, so not something necessarily artificial, but it has less of the natural maple syrup kind of smell to it, but it doesn't taste artificial.
Not at all. No. So that you raised something I never really thought about that's got me curious now, is how does he flavor these things? How does he make the sausage?
There's sausage in here?
Maybe, I hope there's sausage in here. I like a good sausage. Maybe we can get JDC on with us one day to talk to us.
We have to go to the shop to do that, more than likely. But I'm sure he'd be up for it.
I think by the magic of technology,
or
we could bring him in some sort of a way so that we don't have to drive to Jackson. Not that I wouldn't mind driving to Jackson. It's a matter of getting time to do it. But it would be fun, I think, before this series is out, and maybe that's how we wrap it up, is to invite him to be part of episode 7 of the 6-part episode.
I can certainly pull some strings. Certainly. He owes me a favor anyway.
Okay, now I did a relight. And honestly, I got a little bit more, what was more up front on that relight was the flavorings as opposed to the leaf. And I'm not complaining. I like it.
See, the first time I smoked this, it's probably only smoked it a handful of times, really, to be honest. But I've never, initially, I didn't like it. But here,
what didn't you like about it?
It was just too sweet.
Too sweet?
But
see,
that doesn't seem to bother me anymore.
And this is not the kind of sweet, again, that you might think of a Captain Black sweet. There's a real naturalness to this sweetness.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
And I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite aromatics actually, and it's from the Country Squire, and it's called Treasure Island.
Treasure Island, yes.
Now that is,
I almost said that too.
That is like diabetic sweet. I mean, that is quintessential goop. Good goop, like multi dolce, right?
It doesn't taste artificial. It tastes syrupy and sweet, but it also has that nice rum flavor. It's that's just a brilliant. My favorite one from the Country Squire is Blue Ribbon, and that's the blackberry one.
Blackberry, yeah. So, yeah, hats off to John David. He does a fine job with these blends. And one of my favorites of his, which I don't think he blended. If I'm not mistaken, Bo might have blended this. I like White Rose.
No, Bo didn't blend White Rose.
He took credit for it on the podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, it was made for him.
Oh, it was made for him. Who did it, JDC?
I think JDC himself did it. If he didn't, Caleb helped him with it, but I'm pretty sure it was a...
Caleb's not there anymore, is he?
No, he ain't
got
there
married
anymore.
And moved on?
No, he got married and... don't think he had a kid yet. I don't know, but yeah, he's no longer at the Squire. He's moved on. I think he's trying to get a degree in civil engineering or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I were that smart.
He's highfalutin.
Those engineers.
Those engineers.
That is a tough curriculum. I remember when I was an undergraduate, my engineering friends were like happy to get C's. I mean, it was really that hard of a program.
Laura always told me, that's my wife's name. She always told me, she's an occupational therapist. Totally unrelated to the show, obviously, but she always said this phrase comes to mind: B's and C's make good OTs, and that's what they said. Because nobody ever made A's. It's just the curriculum was too hard.
Yeah. I remember in my PhD program, first semester, everybody takes research design and statistics, and it was a bad A statistic class. It was hard, and you're told in a doctoral program, like you can't earn anything less than a B. You earn anything less than a B, you're out of there. And like I remember, we got our first exam back, and you got to understand. I mean, these are not big classes. My incoming class for my doctoral program was 14 students. Okay, I'll tell you this: only 2 of us got out with PhDs. So there was a lot, and I'm not saying that like, oh well, you two must have been the smartest. Honestly, we were the dumbest. We really were. We were stupid enough to stay in that program for 5 years being abused.
Yep.
But we got PhDs. But at any rate, I digress. That first statistics class exam came back, and I had the high score in the class. And man, I was nervous going into it. But here's the deal: like my grade was like a 23, and like the low score was like a 12. So I mean, it's statistics, and and plus he's playing with our mind. And then exam number 2 comes around, and I kid you not, the list did this, boom, Like now I'm at the bottom, and the guy that was at the bottom is now at the top. And I'm like, this guy's just screwing with us. He really was. But that was just, and then he would do these statistical things to it to create like, well, so a 23 was an A, and a 21 was a B, and a 19 was a C, and a 16 was, like, how did you even arrive at that? But it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Why are we even talking about
B's and C's make good OTs. I don't know. But I do remember after exam 2 being in the fetal position in my lab, being found by my major professor.
Yeah, I bet the people that made the A's were the ones that got like neuro doctor degrees. The real A's. It's an abbreviation for 7 letters.
Ah.
So if you're a neuro doctor, sorry.
Wait a minute. I was in neuropsychology. You talking about me?
No,
Okay.
Brain surgeons.
Oh yeah, we didn't. I did do surgery on rats. That was part of my research. That was.
Well, then maybe I'm talking about you. I don't know.
I think the rats probably thought I was an A for chopping their head off, but I'm enjoying this.
I will say, for all that, I have only relit this once.
Mm-hmm.
It stays lit really well.
Yeah, it's and you didn't dry this out, and this is the bag from the sample that he sent. So
yeah, of course I didn't jar it, so it's probably lost some moisture just from sitting in the bag. But
no, I was worried. I thought it was going to be overly moist.
It's never going to dry up because of the propylene glycol.
You like saying that word, don't you?
Only because I know how to say it.
I'm enjoying this. You're getting the benefit of an aromatic tobacco without the drawbacks of an aromatic. What do I mean by that? It's not burning hot. It's not scorching the tongue. You're getting good leaf flavor.
It's not biting
and you're
at all.
getting a nice aromatic topping note while you're enjoying the smoke. And
it's sweet.
and I'm going to use the word wrapped again. I'm envisioning this kind of threefold chord of leaf, in this order: leaf, vanilla, maple.
He likes this analogy.
I just made it up. How did you? Leaf, primary, and then below that the little vanilla that's playing there, and then below that in the background is that maple that really does well with the vanilla, but it's also doing something with the leaf flavor. It's making the naturalness of the leaf, which I'm assuming we're getting that play between the Cavendish and the Virginia. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just.
And the Cavendishes themselves burn really cool, so that just helps kind of bring the temperature down just in and of itself. So. I'm liking this more than I thought I would, to be honest.
Yeah, I am too.
Very much so.
I had a very pleasant experience a couple moments ago. You were talking, and I wanted to come back to it, so I didn't want to interrupt you. But I did a retrohale, and that was both pleasing to the senses, but also not rough on the nasal passages.
Yeah, retrohales very well as well.
And I have to say, this is pairing well with what I often pair my bowls with, and that is some black coffee.
I got a little hint of coffee from the tobacco just a few minutes ago.
Really?
I don't know if it was the coffee or if it was the tobacco, but I had like this aroma that was like, oh wow, that smells like, tastes like coffee. But I mean, it just could be just the blend itself. It's starting to get a little more rich because of the burning tobacco, and starting to get a little more char kind of flavor in there. I don't know what I'm talking about, but sounds good.
That was well said. You write speeches for Joe Biden, don't you?
There goes all our progressive listeners.
That was uncalled for. Well, I'll make fun of Trump in a moment. Give me time. I'm equal opportunity. So who are you voting for? No, I'm not going to go there. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna vote by mail.
Are you?
No. I'm gonna go in person.
I do not trust the USPS, and I'm sorry.
No,
if I have postal employees who follow my station, my channel.
Like I get it, you know, you don't want to get COVID, and you don't want to go to the polls and touch things. I get it. I totally understand. Just they're gonna get lost. I promise you.
Dude, I've ordered from PNC before. Trust me, I know about stuff getting lost, and I don't think it's always PNC's fault.
Nope. I mean, their packing and shipping department leaves a lot to be desired.
Sometimes, yeah.
They'll just throw the bags in a box and tape it and call it a day. Like, oh, maybe we'll put some bubble wrap in.
That's close enough. They wanted something like that.
And I don't mean to be railing on PNC. They're not. PNC is one of these companies. They're
not attention to detail.
Yeah, they're more of a cigar company because they're a
Cigars International. Is that them?
Yeah, they're a pipe arm of Cigars International, but purely for sales. Like, I don't think they really care about pipe people at all. Not really, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. And then when you order from somebody like Eddie Gray at the Pipe Nook,
gently wrapped.
Yeah, you're this package arrives and you're like, I feel guilty opening it. I mean, I can see Eddie like putting like an hour's worth of time just packing the stuff you order. And it's just, I mean, it's layer upon layer of, he's got, and he takes a little piece of Scotch tape to put the bubble wrap down. I'm like,
I have this real funny, like, just image in my mind of Eddie, like, because I remember when he, with the John Harden pipes, the Matches 860,
should be
Friday Savinelli pipe.
Mm-hmm.
He said there were so many orders he was going to have to conscript hell in order to get them, like, shipped out. And I could just see Eddie Gray, like, standing there with his beard and his long hair, like, pack them correctly!
Yeah. No soup for you! Like, not letting his kids eat because they packed a box wrong or something,
It probably happened like that, that, right?
It could have. It could have.
This is very good.
So this on tobacco, as of our recording, there are 5 reviews for this on tobaccoreviews.com, and it gets a 3.6. That's a fairly.
Did you print out the reviews?
I did.
Oh, sweet. Give me one.
You want to read them?
I want to read the 1 star. I'm sure they had one that was like, oh, this is awful.
No, it looks like it's probably a bunch of 4s and a 5 or 2s. There's only 5 reviews.
Yeah, but there's only there's a 3-star and then a 3-star and a couple. How does it have a 3.6? Oh, is it a 4-star?
It's got 3.
Oh, okay.
3 of them are 4 stars.
I thought it was 5. I'm like, well,
no. 3 are 4 stars and 2 are 3 stars. So nobody gave it less than a 3-star.
Okay, well now it's
so a 3. I like this 4-star deal because it helps me. I put it in terms of school, right? Remember, you got a GPA, right? And a 3.6 is respectable.
It's like a B.
Yeah, it's like a B plus, man. Let's take every little point I can get. So why was I going to this? Oh yeah, just there were 5 reviews and it scored overall 3.6.
So not only could you comment on our video and fill out Flat Cap Piper's survey, but go to tobaccoreviews.com as well and add to it.
Yeah. And of course you can comment here on Briar Report as well. What is that program called? Discus or something like that?
Yeah, something.
I've got it now set up where it automatically, when I go to it, it logs me in. Because before then I was like, wait, I got to do what? And I was getting confused.
I was signing in through Twitter or something like that.
That's what I think I did. I might have associated my Twitter account to it.
Yeah. So it does make it easy to log in. You can use Twitter. I believe you can use Facebook.
I think you can use Google too.
I believe you can use Google.
Your Gmail account.
So there's no excuse, like really and truly.
You just want to be lazy.
Unless you want to be lazy.
I appreciate that. That's fine. Of course, you could let us know that too. Log in.
Log in and let us know.
I'm too lazy to give a real comment, but I tried it.
You know somebody's going to do that, right?
Yeah, probably. There's several.
Probably Blue Dog.
I got to call him. He was recovering.
What happened to him?
From a little surgery. He had that fall and tore up his... same thing I did back in May of 2018. Tore up the... what's that called? Pitchers.
The meniscus?
That's your name. Rotator cuff. The rotator cuff. But he required surgery. And I just had to rehab mine for a year.
I didn't do well in anatomy and physiology.
Apparently. Meniscus.
It sounded very learned and very intelligent.
Sounds like a knee.
They don't know that.
Meninges. You got meningitis. It's when your knee flares up. That's the neuropsychologist in me, sorry.
You get meningitis in your knee, you're probably dead.
So tell me about the Briar Bothy.
Oh, so little announcement. Or we don't want to bank on that, right?
You're gonna say that you're gonna do a video and never do it?
We're gonna try to do.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna try to do episode 4.
You had invited me over, yeah.
From the Bothy. That is the plan at the moment. That could change, but you know, as of right now, I think we're on track to.
Well, let's commit to this. If for some reason we don't get to episode 4 in the Bothy, because I think you still said you had some work you want to do in there. We will do something from the Bothy, even if it's not one of these for BRTV. We'll do something on his channel. You do have a channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Briar Bothy.
It sounds like you ever publish anything.
I'm really concerned about not having this. That's all.
Well, I tell you what. What I'm going to do is I have a can of mixed nuts in my office, and it's got like a little white top. I'm going to cut the center of the top out.
And so we can just hang it.
That's right. We'll just like hang it from a string or something. Yeah. You'll have it there. It makes you feel better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're even seeing the computer that we're recording on right there. Whoops. Right. That's in my head. Phineas Gage.
Behind the scenes.
Right there. Right there. Phineas Gage. A little esoteric psychology humor there.
Literally nobody understands that but you.
Anybody who's, either taught or took intro psych, like in the last 5 years, and remembers it. But it's still in all the intro psych textbooks.
Okay.
The guy, he worked for the railroad like in the 19th century, and he got a spike through his head, and it destroyed his frontal lobe and his personality changed.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, everybody remembers. You might never remember the name, but it's in every intro psych textbook. Well, I got to tell you, this is I can see this as a year-round enjoyment too. I was originally thinking fall, winter, cold weather month. Again, the maple, because I was stuck on autumn evening. And for those of you who are like, I've tried autumn evening, it's way too aromatic, way too much maple syrup. Don't let this one shy you, get scared away from this because of that. This is a totally different blend.
Totally different.
Very, very, not that I enjoy autumn and evening, so not that this one's not enjoyable, but I could see somebody not enjoying the C&D autumn evening and being scared of trying second breakfast because maple sticks out. And this is very, very well done, very evenly handed in the way that these toppings are applied, where they enhance the leaf. They don't detract from it. This is I'm enjoying this, and this is this is a credit to Country Squire. These house blends that they create burn so well. They burn evenly, few relights, particularly if you pack right, which 9 out of 10 times I don't.
Me neither.
And they burn cool. And you got to like that, particularly in an aromatic, and particularly when you've got Virginia at play, as we do in this blend here.
I don't want to say they're foolproof, but there's definitely a handicap that's built in, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
But I think Country Squire, a lot of their blends, a lot of their aromatics are very, like Blue Ribbon, like Treasure Island. They do have a lot of moisture and goopiness to them, but there are quite a few that like Second Breakfast, like I think Old Toby was probably the more syrupy of them,
and that wasn't bad,
but it still wasn't bad. No. But they really don't. The sweetness isn't cloying, if that makes sense.
Right,
it isn't.
Right. Actually, it could be like on Parsons blend a little bit.
Yeah, Parsons blend,
But that's an old blend out there, and still good stuff. And I know people who follow me have heard me say this a million times. PS blend. It's a hybrid. It's a crossover. It is so good. I mean, and I love that one in the fall and winter because there's just enough of that English flavoring to it to go along with the that chocolatey, but it's a semi-sweet dark chocolate. And
have you had Hunting Creek? Have we?
Yeah, well, I have had Hunting Creek, and that's another nice one from the Squire. Good stuff.
I want to say he commented, John David himself commented on one of the more recent Country Squire radio episodes that he didn't say it in the sense that he doesn't like making Hunting Creek, but it is one of the more, if not the most complex blend they make. There's so many tobaccos that goes in it, it takes a lot of time to make it.
Yeah. That would be a pain in the butt.
Yeah. But if you've
Which might be what you call there, like, yeah, we're out of that.
Yeah, we're not having it. Nah. No, but seriously, if you've never tried Hunting Creek, that's another one you should totally pick up. And next time you order your Middle Earth BRTV sampler, throw a little 1 ounce.
And I was going to say Rivendell, but that's in the sampler.
Yeah, no, definitely throw a few 1 ounce little tasters in there of other stuff because you'd be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, on the aromatic side, another one I would recommend is another one of their old ones, Choctaw.
Yeah. Or there's one they do called Tobacco du Chocolat. Have you had that one?
I did. One of the times you and I went up there, do they still let you, since the deeming stuff, it used to be you had fair game, like you could just walk up and load your pipe with a sample of anything he had in jars. Does he still allow that?
I mean,
I know there was some talk with
legally,
you weren't able to do it.
Legally, they do not allow samples.
Legally.
That's all I can
But wink, wink, nod, nod. And so I took advantage of it, and that was when I tried that afternoon we were up there. And I ended up not getting any because 9 times out of 10, chocolate doesn't translate well for me in a pipe tobacco.
No, you're right, it doesn't.
It wasn't bad, but it was like, probably not going to ever go to it again. So, but I wanted to try it.
I like it. So that's another one you could throw in your cart as well. It's a very syrupy, goopy tobacco chocolate, chocolate tobacco, but it's I think it's quite nice.
So many good blends. Shepherd's pie, fantastic.
Did I tell you about this? So this is one of the things. Like if you've never been to the Squire, if you've never been to the Country Squire, you should make what they like to call your pipe pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Go there,
which you just did 2 weeks ago.
Which I did that. I go there
without me.
I try to go there every other month, but
you left me.
I haven't gone in a year and a half, so that's totally
every other year.
I went without him.
But you did bring me a very nice mug,
I did.
Which I even did a video. I don't know if you saw it, and I thanked you.
I have not seen the video. I'm sorry, but I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, I'll bet you will.
Yeah, but. The reason I'm going into this is that when you go there, there's things you can get at the Country Squire that they don't always sell online. And what I mean by that is they had a little baggie on the counter, like a little wicker basket filled with these little sampler bags like this, and it said Special English, and I'm like, what is that? So apparently they had taken some. What's the blend we just talked about? Shepherd's pie. They've taken some shepherd's pie, I believe. This is according to one of the other tobacconists that works there. They had taken some shepherd's pie and put it in a press.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's what Special English was. I think it was an slightly aged, heat-pressed tobacco. It was a little darker than the normal shepherd's pie, so I totally believe that it went through some kind of
pressing and absolutely.
If that's what it was.
Now, I may have dreamed this, and I could see where I would have because I would want this to happen. It's a fantasy of mine, but maybe it's true, because I think you told me that a recent court ruling has said that tobacconists are no longer held to the standard of being originators, meaning they can mix their blends.
No, that's true.
So
that's true.
So they can continue. He can continue to use market available products to create new.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So they don't have to register as a manufacturer.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't. I don't believe that's something they have to do anymore. Yeah. He may have already done that. I think he was initially going through the process of becoming a manufacturer just so he could stay legal.
Right.
But again, the FDA doesn't really have the means to enforce that, so I don't know how they would even.
Well, you know, and listen, that's kind of the worst kept secret of the whole deeming thing is...
Like they have no way to enforce it. Like,
who's going... What are they going to just randomly show up at some poor guy's shop and just screw with him for the day? You know, I mean, that's how the government works. Let's not kid ourselves.
There's no FDA agents walking around. I mean, I guess they do for, you know, health inspection. But
you know, listen, when they start doing that, that's when I'm going to run for office and start standing up against that kind of nonsense.
Yep.
How about you show up where a city's burning and stop looting before you start picking on some guy who's got an honest business? Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. If you disagree with it, leave me a comment and get the hell out of my life. No, I'm kidding.
Padre, hardballing his listeners.
But listen, that is, I mean, seriously, the government has some better things they can do than worrying about pipe smokers. When was the last time a pipe smoker blew up anything? Do you think Ted Kaczynski smoked a pipe?
Man, I don't know.
I think if Ted Kaczynski smoked a pipe,
he's a cigar smoker.
We wouldn't be talking about him because pipe smokers just don't do those things. They, you know.
Or his name's Peterson Boswell. We won't go into that at all.
Good Lord. Good Lord. So, what else did you accomplish on your pilgrimage? Your recent pilgrimage to the Squire.
That was it. Yeah, I got some By the Fire, which
that's really relatively new, right?
Yeah, that's
as is to Tres Leches.
Yeah, that's that and Tres Leches. Yeah, I didn't get any of that. I got By the Fire.
I got some that you can try. Very rich.
I don't remember. Oh, Special English. That was the other one I picked up. But
you know, you talk about the Special English. John David did this as a favor to me. I don't know how I found out about this, but I guess maybe I was either talking to him or he made a video and he said something about it. But Butch, who I forget what his channel name is on YouTube, he doesn't make a whole lot of videos anymore, but he used to when he lived in Jackson. Mm-hmm. He used to make the videos at the shop with John David. So I still follow him on YouTube, and we still talk and Facebook Messenger and those sorts of things. Nice guy, great guy.
He's really nice.
But I found out, I think Butch told me, he's like, well, ask John David about Butch's blend. And I think it's a variation on Angry Cornishman, is that what it's called? Yeah. Which is like English, but with some Perique cranked up in it, and I think maybe a little more crank up in the Butch's blend. But he made me a couple of ounces of Butch's blend, and you know, let me put it in my order a year or so ago. And
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, I feel like, you know, I kind of got to take advantage of that little basket thing you were just talking about, without even being there.
Yeah, well, the Country Squire also, if you didn't know, is they have a catalog of basically custom blends that customers have come up with, and they have like a little card where they've written down all the recipes.
That's really cool.
You can call instead. If I wanted to call,
because you see, that goes back to the tradition of Dunhill. That's how Dunhill has all those numbers.
Yeah. So you'll have people that'll call up and say, "Oh, I'd like to try Pappy's blend" or something like that, and they'll, "Oh yeah, I'll pull it up for you," and they'll sell you a couple ounces of it, kind of thing.
You know, and I kind of wish my Rector's blend was something that I could, you know, file with them, but
call them and talk to them.
The components aren't there anymore. Lane stopped making.
Oh, that's right. You said Lane stopped making something.
Yeah, Lane took the BS, that was it, BS 001? Is that what they call it? BS 005. I've tried finding something comparable. What was it? Scotty's blend.
Is that not Trout Stream, huh?
No, but it's by Scotty or Russ.
Oh,
not 10 to Midnight. It's called, it's somebody's blend done by those guys. Yeah. Larry's blend.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Larry's blend. Either done by Russ or Scotty. I don't know. Too many names. And it's still not the same, so. But you know, I've been working on, and I gave you a little sample of my, what did they call it? Mordecai's mixture or Mordecai's blend?
Oh, I finally smoked that, by the way.
Did you?
Very good. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting.
I was going after an interesting, unique type of mixture there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely on the hybrid side of things.
Yeah, it was sweet, but yeah.
But And I'll tell you the story behind that. And maybe what I'll do is if I can get it tweaked a little bit more, I'll send some out like I did with Rector's Blend, which is almost assuredly going to cause one of those ingredients to go away.
Sure.
Because that's the luck I have.
People are going to like it, and you're like, I can't make it anymore, sorry.
What I was after this, so when I was doing Rector's Blend, what I was after was I was trying to recreate Frogmorton. No luck. But I started getting onto something. I'm like, let me just keep tweaking because I'm liking what I'm getting. And that's how I arrived at that. This, I was going after an attempt to recreate the Just For Him
Shortcut?
Shortcut to mushrooms, yes. And just, again, got off on a rabbit hole and just kept working on it and ended up getting something I kind of like there. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more. And the reason I think I was able to get that one the way it was is because I stopped getting frightened by Dark Strong Kentucky.
That's a good tobacco.
It's a very good tobacco.
Is that the bacon one?
It's a
bacon straight? No.
No, I have like a PNC Blenders.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dark Strong Kentucky or something. But it's stout. I mean, I know there are people who enjoy these Kentuckys straight. But that has got to be one of the highest nicotine genres of leaf out there.
Have you tried the what is it, McBaron
Rustic
Rustica?
I've not tried the Rustic.
I have some. I'll have to give you some. Yeah, that'll knock you on your socks.
Yeah,
that puts GLP's blends to shame.
That's actually causing a neuron to fire, as we're recommending Country Squire blends. Cowboy coffee.
Cowboy coffee, yeah.
Cowboy coffee.
That's a kick in the pants, huh?
That is a really nice blend. You got to be careful with it because it will kick your butt. But it is, it's a nice, flavorful blend. It's a little strong in the nick. Take it slow. Have your second breakfast in your tummy before you go for it. I guess we should
probably wrap this up. nice.
I'm not finished with my pipe.
Come on.
Are you finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
You smoke too fast.
No, the bowl's small. Sorry.
All right. Well, let's kind of tie it all up. What are you thinking? Yeah.
I'm thinking I like this one a lot more than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasantly surprised. I think the maple and vanilla really come through in the retrohale and the room note.
Yeah.
Not so much in the taste, but that's just most tobaccos are like that. Even most aromatics are like that. It's very rare you're going to get that really strong taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
So
I'm at the bottom third of this bowl right now, and this is still not heating up. I'm still able to do a retrohale that is extremely pleasant. There's nothing burning nose hairs. This has not become harsh or acrid or nasty as some do toward the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah.
If anything, the flavor might have intensified a tiny bit, but in a good way, not in a way that, again, is attacking the taste buds.
I think that's where I got that little, like I said, the coffee note, where the tobaccos start getting a little more cooked, charred. You get more of those kind of flavors like coffee or black coffee or something.
Yeah, a little roasted bean type
kind of flavor. So I definitely got that.
Yeah. So again, Black Cavendish, Virginia, flavorings of maple and vanilla, a coarse cut bulk, available exclusively at the Country Squire Tobacconist in Jackson, Mississippi. Bells will be ringing. Shall we just wait and listen to the? Let's not.
It's nice.
It's nice, except that it's in the 6 o'clock in the evening hour, and so it's going to play hymns after it does the 6 chimes. So
gotcha.
But only for a few minutes. We can talk our way through the hymns.
But if you have not,
if you want to sing along,
you can. But if you have not gotten your BRTV sampler from the Country Squire, it's not too late. We can play catch up. We have 2 videos prior to this one, and now a third. And we have 3 more that we're going to be doing. The next of which is,
what does that say? Green Dragon?
Green Dragon. I think that's the one you're most excited for.
I really like that Virginia right there.
Yeah. So that's the next one we're going to be doing. Hopefully from the Briar Bothy out in Yield Kenner. Bruh.
Now, before we sign off, I'm going to take this as an opportunity to take a little bit of pastoral priestly privilege here from this bully pulpit and make a plea to Briar Report.
What?
My
Smell-o-vision?
plea, here it is. I'm beyond smell-o-vision because I know Phil is he's waiting for patents and it's it's complex.
That's
I get
fair.
that.
Yeah.
Bill Needleman needs to be allowed to write. He needs to be allowed to have his voice.
He's a gruff guy, though.
And I think I love Phil to death, but he's censoring Bill Needleman.
And for a good reason, probably.
What's the reason?
I don't know.
He's grumpy and
He's
crotchety.
crotchety. Just like every other codger out there.
Absolutely. I feel a special connection to Mr. Needleman, and I think he needs to be allowed to do a little bit more on Briar Report, in the magazine.
I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. I agree.
I love you, Phil. I don't want to tell you how to do your job. I just think Needleman you need to just turn him loose. And I know he's ticked people off. That's the beauty of it.
Hashtag free Needleman.
Free Needleman.
Mm-hmm.
We're in this fight for Needleman. All right. As the songs continue, I think it is time. This has been very enjoyable. Like you, I think it was, I enjoyed it more than I thought. And I'm just, again, impressed that this is, at the rate of burn, at the temperature of the burn being very cool, the taste being very flavorful throughout. Nothing overly complex about this.
No.
Yet, thoroughly enjoyable. It's not so unidimensional that you're like, okay, I'm bored. It was just good the whole time. It goes well with a black coffee. I could see it going well with a sweetened cream coffee. Go well with a lot of things.
Absolutely. I think I would enjoy.
And I don't think the Nick hit is all that bad. You could go about this all day long and not have to worry about feeling a little amped up or anything. So,
and I chugged it. So I mean, it got a little warm at the bottom of the bowl, but it wasn't because the tobacco was burning incorrectly or anything. It's just because I was chugging it.
Yeah. So that's it. That's episode 3 on Briar Report Television. As we wrap it up for second breakfast, the third in the sample from the Country Squire Tobacconist in the Middle Earth series. Next month in October, we move on to the magical, mythical Green Dragon, a fantastic Virginia. And boy, we're just kind of mowing through. We're halfway through now.
Halfway through.
Yeah. So let us know what you think. You can leave a comment below. You can send nasty emails to Phil@BriarReport. No, I'm kidding.
Free Needleman.
Free Needleman. You can make a video response if you like, or at the very least, go ahead and use Flat Capper's survey, Flat Cap Piper's survey. It just takes a few seconds, really, to fill it out and let us...
Give us a little feedback.
Let the community know what your thoughts are. No one... it's aggregate, so it's not like they're going to know that W.R. Tuggle filled it out and said something bad about it.
Probably will.
Picking him out of the... All right. Anything you need to say before we get out of here, Mr. Mark?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, on behalf of...
The Briar Bothy.
Also known as...
Mark BB.
Yeah.
Also known as MGB Squared. Also known as... I had an old name called Gambit Crawfish. Did I ever tell you about that one?
No.
No.
A story for another day.
Yep.
Padre and Mark wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings. Fade to dark.
Wayne's World, party time. Woo! Excellent.
And we keep talking. And what are we going to talk about?
Did you watch Wayne's World?
I did, yeah. I remember the skits and watched the movie.
He got a little cup and he's like, "Hey, Garth, if you have to spew into death."
Party on.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
I don't know why I think of that every time.